Our next part of the project is to actually pick your Changemaker and create your idea board and prep your photo for this project. So once you've sort of had some time to think about who it is that you want to do, maybe you've researched some stuff, because really giving meaning to this person is what's going to make this project worthwhile. So you're going to pick your person, and then now we need to create our idea board. This idea board is going to be a little bit different than we will do for other projects because I can't find a lot of neurographic portraits sort of out there. I don't think it's really been done a whole lot. So we are going to focus on our images. You can use Pinterest, you can use just Google Drive, but we need to find our images. We're probably going to have to do Google searching. So I'm just going to show you, talk to you a little bit about searching images. So I'm on Google. For this one, I'm going to look at, I don't know, I feel like looking at Frida Kahlo. Oh my gosh. Frida Kahlo. Everything's lagging. Frida Kahlo was a Mexican artist, and she was pretty cool. She did some really neat stuff. So you're going to Google image search. Now, what is really going to make a big difference in this project is starting off with a really high quality image. If you start with if you're working with a low quality image, when we print it out to trace it, it's going to be very pixelated and fuzzy. And your tracing, you're going to have a hard time with it. And then at the end result is not going to be as good. So you probably know this, but just in case, on here where it says tools, for your Google image search, you're going to go to size and you want to pick large. Okay, so we don't want anything that's really small. So we're going to have a look. Now you're going to save a bunch of images. Maybe you're torn between a few different people, so you're going to do a few images of different people. Maybe you're like totally know who you want to do, and you're going to save just a bunch of images for the one person. And the reason why I want you to do more than one image is because for the next steps in this process, when we posterize it, which I'll show you in a second, is some images might work out better than the others. And I want to talk to you about some of the images. This image here is a really cool image, but it kind of cuts off her head. So for compositionally wise, great image, maybe I want to save it, but it's not really going to work for my project, okay? This image here is actually quite beautiful, but there's a lot of shadows and stuff. Maybe it might posterize well when on the computer when I change it, but maybe not. This one looks pretty good. So I'm going to make sure that I save a bunch of these images. So I'm going to try some of them. I don't want you to save them from here. I want you to save them when they're larger. So for you on the Chromebook, it's I don't think you can right click. It's a 2-finger tap, and then it goes to save image as. So you're going to go through. My suggestion is to save about 5 images. So you're going to save a bunch of your images. Now, there's this file, a JFIF. I have no idea what that is. So this one here I really like, but it's not going to recognize that JFIF image. So I don't have this, but on you can actually select just an area, not do a whole screenshot, but actually select a whole area by hitting Control Alt and the switch key, I think, and then you just go around and highlight that area and it will save the image automatically to your Google Drive. So save a bunch of images. Don't have something that has their full body. Focus more on portrait, right? This would be lovely. That's just her face, right? That's kind of cool. So but focus way more just on, their face, not with a lot of stuff going on in the background, not a lot of different people, not the full body. Okay, so try and get some really great images because that's going to help you with the end result. Okay, so you're going to save those. Now, our next stage for this is we're going to posterize it. So posterizing, this is the original photo, and I've decided to go with this one for Frida Kahlo. I'm hoping that I have time for this project. I'm still torn between doing her or MC Light, so hopefully I have time between marking and planning, but we'll see how it goes. I want to posterize it. What posterizing does, it does this to it, where it's going to separate all the colors into different layers, and that's going to make our lives much easier when we trace it. So on our D2L, I have a link here that says posterize image. So I'm actually just going to click on that. And there's just tons of different websites to posterize your image. So separating into different layers and different colors, but this is the one that I just found don't know, was the quickest and the easiest. So I'm going to select my image. Obviously, all of your stuff is saved on your Google Drive. I'm going to find mine. Let me see. There we go. Okay, here's Frida. Okay, now it gives you a bunch of different options on how many different levels. So the more levels that you have, the more sort of realistic it looks like. So the default is kind of level 8. So if I hit posterize, I'll just show you the difference. You're going to have to fool around with the different levels until you come with something that you're happy. So this one's really good because it has a whole bunch of different levels and some neat things. So that'll give me a lot of stuff to work with, like in her hair and her body and everything. Now I just want to show you the difference. If I up the levels and I posterize it, this is what I mean. It's sort of like there's so many levels that it actually looks very similar to the original picture. I can't see the difference. If I go less than 8, and you might want to fool around with this, it depends on your photo that you're working with. So say I try 4 and posterize it. So again, that makes it more sharp contrast. That would work as well. It's totally up to you what you want to do. And again, it depends on your picture. I was kind of happy with I like the 8 one. I'm going to try that again. Yeah, I like that one for me. Okay. So you're going to have to play around with whatever whatever you think. So you're going to download it either as a PNG or a JPEG, it doesn't matter. So you're going to go ahead and download that. Okay, now the last step, and this is so important, and I want you to be able to do this while you're at school with me, is when you have your posterized image, you're going to hand it in right here. It says image hand in for printing. It's an assignment, but it's not being marked. You're going to hand in that image that you just downloaded for me. And then that way I can print it for you so you actually have it so you can trace it. And the next lesson I'm going to show you different ways that you can trace it. Okay, so go ahead and give that a shot. Now when you're posterizing your image, maybe if you're finding that the image is not working that you picked when you posterize it and you're not really getting good results, then try another image. And that's why we saved a bunch of different images. Maybe you want to try a bunch of them and see which one works out the best for you. Okay, so go at it. All right, so we'll see you next lesson when I show you how to trace it.